I'm from Movie Reviews 101, and today we're going to talk about A Quiet Place, directed by John Krasinski and starring him and his wife in real life, Emily Blunt, Noah Jupp, and Millicent Simmons. That may be wrong, and I apologise. Just the trend of my videos. This movie is a horror thriller, and it follows a family that have to go about trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic world where if they make any noise, a unknown threat will hunt them down and kill them. That's simple. We follow we see what happens quite early, which is nice because we get to see just how devastating these predators can be. And then we follow on and we get to see the after effects of that event about a year later. So we're going to get into my ups. These are the three things I like the most about this movie, before we get to the things I didn't like. Number one is I'm going to use the word predator for these things because I don't want to say exactly what they are. But the predators that they've created are brilliant, they're scary, and they're just devastating with what they do. And that's what we see early on, which is why it's really important. The trailer showed us nothing. We saw a bit of aftermath of what would happen when they attack or be around, but we get to see them like that in the first 5-10 minutes. We see what they can do, and it is horrendously bad. And they look scary. You will remember them by the end of your horror world experience. My second pick is the performances. Obviously, we're having the real life married couple, we get automatic chemistry. You get the more feelings to support the characters that comes into the film. The kids are great too. You get to go through all the grief and guilt that they're feeling as things unfold. Again, very interesting, very well done. And the world that we enter, it does feel very lived in. Now, a lot of these post-apocalyptic worlds are trademark broken down car, abandoned building. Yes, but because of little aspects that are involved in this, like what they walk on and everything to prepare for anything, it all feels like they've really been there a long time. Now we do say we are in part of this for 400 plus days, so yeah, it feels like that could have been real. Now, where we got the ups, I've got to go to the downs. Now, this is more nitpicky, I think, because I'm going to be honest before I say the downs. I did love everything about this movie. Well, there's just part of me that was nitpicky. You know me, nitpicky. I do think the first one I would say is the decisions the characters make. We have some decision making which isn't the smartest, shall we say, and it does leave a little bit to the imagination, because if these characters are in this world, would certain things they do really make sense? I mean, you'll see, you'll understand. I do think people, more than myself, were going to wonder about where the predators came from, a bit more of an origin story about them or everything. The film does try to address what happened and why they're still like no one really knows, which is nice. But you know, people were going to say they want to know what happens. It happens. My third thing is, this is a bit confusing to truly explain, but one of the daughter is actually deaf, so a lot of scenes go to her, and when she's playing with or working her hearing aid, the screens go deaf and silent, and you could hear almost as much as she can hear. And part of me wanted to see the whole movie like this, because everything's about silence. But then we do have moments of music, and it's sort of, peril music when you hear it. I would have liked to have just been the dead silent audience member, like seeing everything in a way that she would see it. But that's just one of my personal feelings for it. But as I said, I did love this movie, and overall, it is going to be an early contender for Horror of the Year. is definitely proving that some of these actors, actresses out there, because this is the third year we've had an actor known more for his acting than anything in Krasinski from The Office doing a movie, a horror movie. Like, who would have thought it? We had Jordan Peele last year, we had Joel Edgerton the year before. There really are some really good directors that you wouldn't imagine thinking about as a director. So keep that in mind. And I wanted to say a final thing. Whoever did the marketing for this movie, I mean that trailer, the poster's genius, but the trailer, please do more horror movies, because you never gave anything away. You made us want to watch this movie. You didn't show every jump scare like a certain other horror movie that got shown before it that looks complete trash, because it's given away everything. Just please do all the trailers in the world, whoever edited this one, because you know how to sell a movie for an audience who wants to see something fresh. I'm going to leave it with my rating, and that is, yes, we're going to give it the 5. I'm happy to give this a 5 out of 5. I recommend all my horror fans to please go and see this one in the cinema. Don't get popcorn, no food, no drink. Anyone else has food or drink, just kick them, get them out. Don't care. Watch this movie in the cinema to get the full effect. But let me know what you thought about this movie in the comments below. And until next time, I'm going to go and do what I do best. Watch movies.